I suppose, Reagan, your time at Basin Head, you were able to observe much of the wildlife that was there.
Yeah.
What would be some of the species, birds and animals that you would have seen around there?
Well, those dooms, well, right off the bat, the foxes down there, they become pretty well tame. Everybody was feeding them down there. They were on the dooms. Anyhow, but besides that, there's there's blowouts, what I call blowouts in those dooms, and down on the bottom of them there's cranberries and everything. So there's a lot of species. Um, actually, some of the trees on the dooms. I got to start with the trees, because some of the trees on the dooms, even though they look like they're only about 8 or 10 years old, they're actually hundreds of years old. They're a lot older than you think they are, and they're only 2 or 3 inches around. Right? So it's amazing. You wouldn't be able to count the rings on them if you cut one of those old bed over trees or whatever. And to me, that's the interesting part about that. And the dune system itself. There's certain animals on it, but every animal uses it in a way. But you can find any hawk or any at any given time on it's just such a beautiful area that I there was talks when I worked there. There was talks of putting a 4-lane highway across that dune system. Now, I just hated the idea, and these were board members that wanted to do this, and make an access to that dune system. I was actually glad somebody else owned the dune system, because back then, chances are we could have done it. We could have put access to that dune system, put a road right on it, which is sad to say.
Yeah.
But anyhow, it's just a gorgeous place.
Were there many people taking advantage, like bird watchers and individuals like that would come
Oh,
down? Yeah.
yeah. Oh, there was island groups that would come down there. Yeah, just to do Basin Head alone.
Yes.
Well, with the insect-eating plants, the sundew that's on there, all kinds of things. It's just especially the colors in the fall. If you go down there and just really look at the ground and the ground cover, right, and everything's so low, and it's just gorgeous, just gorgeous.
What about the deeper marine creatures such as whales and things like that? Was there much observation of them?
Off Basin Head?
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. I watch them all the time. I just pilot, pilot whales, minkies, and whatever. There's certain times of the year, there's just schools of them off Basin Head. It's just unreal. And and I know why, because after a big storm, I would go down on the shore and pick up scallops, lobster, you name it, and fill buckets of them. The great big scallops, all on the shore going like that, just looking at you, eh? And I'd fill buckets and take them home. But anyhow, so that marine area out there is really rich, just off the Basin Head area. Yeah.
Was there many different types of plant life? Like, would there be rare plants down there? And when you were there, or
Yes.
was that were identified as such?
Yeah, there is, but I'm not really up on all of those. But at the same time, there's every plant out there. Even our native plant,
Lady Slipper.
lady slipper. Yeah, it's quite common out there. There's a special moss that grows in Basin Head, but Carradine moss.
Carradine.
Yeah,
It's a chemical,
yeah,
yeah.
it's really,
Just an Irish moss.
yeah, certain guys used to go down there and harvest it late in the fall, and it started growing. It was either put up there. There's oysters up there, by the way, too. Mm-hmm. And I heard that was Major Young that put those in there. But they're still there. But anyhow, that whole area. Well, I know the eels are there. That's for sure, because we used to hold an eel fishing contest up there, and in the range of over 5,000 eels were caught.
How big would the biggest one be, Regan?
Oh, oh my God, that was 8 pounds something. That's big for an eel.
That's big for an eel.
6.5-inch girth, like that. It was huge. Oh. Yeah, but not very often. But most of them are all the same size. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, so the area's pretty rich. Pretty rich.